What's going on, everyone? Colonel Cotton Belt here. Check out my new shirt, the Cotton Belt Blue Streak. We got an F7 and Bloody Nose. We got an Alco PA and Daylight. And then we got another F7 and Black Widow over here. So I'm just going to work on the layout today. See if anyone wants to hang out while I'm doing some work. I've got a couple of turnouts to install. Finished this one up a couple of days ago. So kind of, there you go. Might be a little easier to see. And then, so that one's going to go right in here. And then we'll have to flip the camera around to install this one. And I still got to cut the ties off on this one here. But this is a curved turnout. Hey, Christopher Williams. Welcome, buddy. How's it going? And must I say, you look like you're a channel member, so I really appreciate your support for the channel. Much, much appreciated. So the last turnouts I got in, I've got I call this a double Y. It's a throat-to-throat Y here. And basically what we have is this track that my hand is on is the lead from the yard, and it comes and hits this double Y. If I was to take the right track on this section, it goes into the bag plant, which is here. And this is one of the items that I got from the train show. I only spent $5 on it. But if you take this track here, so we go left in the Y, on this Y, then it's going to take us over to Brinkley Tool and Die and the M. Farley Shipping Company Limited, which is behind the camera. And that's where the curved turnout's got to go as well. But you could pull in on this track and back into this track here, which will take you to 3 different industries. So, and I've got some stuff to kind of put, kind of back up on it and whatnot. But, we'll have to do some kit bashing to get everything to fit right later on. But right now, I'm just focused on let's get some track in and see what we can do. So Chris is saying I'm feeling like crap. Day 5 on some respiratory bull crap, and only day 2 on the Z-Pack antibiotics. So yeah, I haven't done anything since Tuesday. Oh man, that stinks. So, and Chris, that's Tennessee River Union, Chris. Okay, it's not showing up as Tennessee River Union, so I wonder why that is. But I'm assuming looks like Tennessee River Union. So you'll have to confirm or deny in the chat for me, buddy. All right, let's see. So what I really need to do is I've got a tote down here that's in my way. I need to move out of the way so I can shift my ladder over. Oh, now I see Tennessee River Union with a 99-cent super chat. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated. Let me do this for you real quick. Let me grab my hammer, and maybe you can hear it because I don't have this thing plugged in yet. There you go. You're wondering what that is. That is the grade crossing bell that I got, a couple of years ago while I was live. Sitting at the railroad tracks, and I was live on a lunch break, and they changed out a grade crossing bell, took out the old mechanical to put in an electronic bell, and hopped out of the truck while live and asked the guy if I could have it, and he gave it to me. So there you go. Hey, we got CEI John in the house. We got Rusty Possum Bayou here as well. I don't know why it's not showing y'all's actual names. It's showing the app. So there must be some type of glitch going on with StreamYard and YouTube. I don't know. But it's not showing your actual names. It's showing your @ sign. That's how it shows up on my end. It's weird. Okay, let me get this tote moved. The nice thing is it's on wheels, so it's not real hard to move. Got to be careful with it. This is one of the totes of a lot of stuff for sale. All right, that is much better. I can definitely work with that. Okay, pull that flex piece of track there down. I'm gonna need and if y'all want me to move you in a little closer, I can definitely do that. I might have to so I can read the chat. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. See if I can't get y'all in a little bit closer. One of the things I ended up doing was I got a USB-C to, it ain't going to show it, but a network adapter for my phone. Oh boy, does that help. Does that really help? Okay, we'll do that right there. And I might need this tool. I don't know what all tools I will and will not need. So it's kind of one of those, you just got to play it by ear as you're going. Hey, Brad, how's it going, buddy? All right. So, and we'll do that right there. Okay. That's a pretty good view, right? I think so. So, what I'm working on now is just trying to figure out getting the track. I've got these little cool things here. These are 3D printed track spacers. Those always come in handy. Especially if I'm trying to get like a 2-inch spacing, and I'm probably going to have to pop a tie off because it's just too close to the rail that it's bumping in some other ties. And I've got some rail I got to cut as well. Let me grab my good rail cutters. All right. And yeah, I'm just going to make a little mark with them and then flip them around. Just like that. Let's see if I got any. I do. And I'll tell you, these right here, man, these are a pain in the ass to put on. And when I have two turnouts that I hand build butt up together, I like to use the micro engineering um, rail joiners versus using the Atlas ones. Because the Atlas ones on micro engineering track, you have to solder in. These I can if I want to, and I probably will, but it is not required. Figured you would do that. Okay. Got that one on. That one there does not want to go on. Probably going to need a little bit of filing underneath. Now you see what I mean, as these are a pain in the ass to put on. Ah, I got it. How about that? Sometimes a little bit of filing always helps. And get that on. And then we'll get it spaced properly. Just like that right there. And what I'll do to make sure that she does not move, actually the first thing I need to do is mark where I need to drill my hole. Sharpie is down here. No, hold on a second. I'm gonna grab my other phone. Might be better to use a black Sharpie instead of a red one, right? So all I'm doing here is just marking on each side of the throw bar. So that way I know where to drill for the hole for the tortoise. I think I'm good. Good. All right, let me grab my drill. Got a good battery. Okay. You know, this is one of the best investments I've ever bought. That's one of those Milwaukee pack out shop bats. There you are. Okay. Now let's put this guy back in. So, and there's my track spacer. That, oh yeah. That is going to work. I can hear John now saying he's excited to come to Central Arkansas so he can operate on the Delta Pine subdivision. Aren't you, John? Does your Ryobi shop vac stack into your toolkit? Like I've got one of those Milwaukee pack out systems. I don't know if Ryobi has one of those or not. Um, but you know what I'm talking about as far as the pack out. It's like you can stack it like with different things. Like I've got different screw containers. I've got one for like just power tools, one for other type of tools, and you can stack this on there. And my bottom section's a dolly, so it's like I just stack it on there and take it wherever I'm going. All right, pop some track nails out. So I will tell y'all when it comes to um, like various different tools, pill bottles work great. And no, these were not mine. These were one of my pets back in the day. But empty pill bottles, they work fabulous. Okay. Now that'll keep that from moving. And now I'm going to cut out that tie and come over here and cut out that tie and break it in the middle. And I do save these ties, by the way. That way I can get a good. Ooh, I cut that one just a little short. So what I'll have to do is get some solder and solder that in there, and that'd be okay. It'd be all right. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Need the good old bastard file. There we go. And because I'm using Atlas Track, got a gondola here under the tripod that I put all of my different supplies and stuff that I need. Rather than junking up the layout any more than it's already junked up. Hey, Derek Alexander, Dwight Curley, Tim is here. What is going on, Tim? And Ray Bertelson's here. I'm seeing that Steve CP. Oh, well, CP368 is not Steve. That would be Tim. And for those who don't know, Tim was my first customer on my web store, trainfreakhobbies.com. I've got some estate items and stuff that my company sells on there. Y'all should go check it out when you got time. All right. Sometimes you can't use these where the turnouts are, so it's like playing guessing games. But that's part of it. Here we go. Now we got the team track. So the industries that are going here is going to be Tough Nut Garment Company. That was an actual company that made denim jeans back in that era. And you can still find some of their stuff on eBay, but they're no longer in business. So that building will go here. And then down at the corner will be a team track. So Y'all check that out. Dwight's been a member for 44 months. Dwight, that's a long time, dude. You're like one of the OGs. And then right here where my pink water is will be a small company that might be big enough to spot one car. So, well, Tim, I'm glad that everything got to you in one piece. And I will say someone else did make an order today. So I'm not going to tell you who made the order and how many people made an order. But what I will tell you is Tim, being the first person who bought from the online store, got a gift card from Amazon for $25. And whoever purchased the 10th order will probably get something similar. I'm going to do some milestones. Like how some of the companies do, like, when you're the number customer in their store, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to do something similar to that. So y'all definitely need to be on the lookout for that. Oh, it's so good. Wata, so good. All right. Go ahead and drill some holes. So it looks like we got 11 people in here. So if you like watching what I'm doing, go ahead and make sure that you hit that thumbs up button. Help me out there. You're actually watching me build layout in real time. And I hope y'all can hear me well too. All right. Some of these nails are thicker than others, so the ones that are too thick I cannot use. Where are you at? There you are. And when it gets too close to rail, these are must buys. I don't know why it's not showing on my comments, but for those who don't know what these are called finishing nail sinks, and they have a little divot in there that you can sit right on top of that nail head, and you can tap it, and that way you don't damage your rail. Hey, Dwayne's Fork and Spoon. How's it going, bud? Okay. I think I'm going to do right here. Now, one of the things that I'll still have to do to this after I get all the tortoises installed and I start getting everything wired up, I'll have to come back with the Dremel and start isolating the frogs. Which, when I built these turnouts, I didn't even put wire on it, so I'll put a little bit of wire, when the time permits. Hey, rail artist, Mike. How's it going? And I'm going to put one over here. Definitely not the fastest way of drilling holes, but putting a drill bit this small in an actual electric drill, I don't want to break this bit. So when you get really, really small bits, they do get pretty fragile. Or as they said on the Christmas movie, fragile. All right, let me see if I can find another nail that's thin. There we go. All right. There you go. So that is the one I just put in. So now I got to put a little stub track back over here. I'm trying not to knock some shit over at the same time. Chris, I've got stuff smaller than 1/32. They're so small that they have to go, they're listed by number, not like by a fraction of an inch. And guys, these things come in handy too. These sweepsticks. Because like I'll put that in here, on the track. Like that. And then that'll let me know exactly how to put my little stub piece of track in. So I've got this piece here, but I don't think this piece is going to be long enough. And I don't want to use two pieces. Even though both pieces together would be long enough, I just don't like doing that. So I will save these for elsewhere. I mean, worst case, these would be good pieces of track to put around the roundhouse as little stub tracks or around the turntable. Happy birthday, John. Everybody needs to wish John a happy birthday. It is John's birthday today. I think John's going to get tired of me one of these days. All right. So let's see here. I think I want to go maybe that far right there. I think that's about where I want to be. I think what I'll do is cut the flex one first, and then come over here and cut this one. And then I'm just going to cut one tie off. Save those. Here's my bastard file. All right, that's much better. That's if we were talking about cheese, that would be Gouda. Gouda goo. And then I did not drill the holes out underneath, so let me do that real quick. That don't take but just a minute. So like Atlas Code 100, they drill the holes all the way through, but on Code 83, they don't. So you have to take your pin vise and finish it off for them. All right. I had some rail joiners here just a second ago. There they are. Hey, Lynn McCurdy. What's going on? So the funny thing is the one who actually talked me into going live, his butt's at work. Grandpa Rail. What's going on, JD? So this track here is where everybody's going to get stuck on Stuckies. Because it's going to be Stuckies syringes. All right. I'm going to have to slide this slider over just a little. See that hole? What hole am I missing? Ah, shucks. Okay. Right there. So I'll have to do that. Another nail. Where's that other hole? But damn, did I lose it? I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached. There it is. These in. Then what I can do, put that back on there and get the last hole. And voila. And let's put a bumper in. I know these are not the most realistic looking bumpers, but these are the ones I like. Here. Got it. Now I'm just going to start doing some tidying up. Because I'm literally done with this side of Brinkley. And the other side is a mess. But that's okay. Yeah, I've got one hopping the track. So a lot of these turnouts don't even have tortoises under them yet. But I do have a few. And I've got a 12-pack that ain't even been opened yet. Yo, Eric, what's going on? I am RRO Com is in the house. Oh, yeah, what a manly hammer, John Henry. Man, only if you knew how hard it would be to spit out HO scale track nails, you know, out of my mouth. Because that's what John Henry did, if I'm not mistaken. I think in the story it said that he was spitting them out as he was going down the line. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these wooden ties that I have and grab my pliers. And I'm going to start feeding these up under. Now, Eric, I would like to see you try to do in scale uh, spikes like that. Why do? Yeah, that's a good question. Hold on a second. I don't know why that banner's up. Thank you, Lynn. I guess because the last time I was live was on a Tuesday night for On Track Tuesday. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I could think of. You drill the holes and then push them in. Well, these these here don't really have to have nails on them because like there's already nails on the adjacent ones. This is just more or less like where the rail joiners are, just to kind of clean it up. And there you go, just like that. So the yard side, like I said, is complete. We'll put some wooden ties there. We're going to move all the scrap pieces of the rail. We'll put those there. So this is just a little bit of scenery before the scenery. You know, make it look like an actual yard, right? What's going on, Maxwell Carey? 3821. Do you ever think we'll see 819 on the high iron again? Would I love to? Yes. Or would I love to see it on the high iron? Oh, absolutely. Do I think it will ever happen? No. John, nope. That's the double slip. This right here is literally a Y that throats into a Y. So it kind of looks like a double slip from a distance, but it really ain't. That's the double slip. But no, I do not foresee the 819 um, coming back on the high iron. One of two reasons. One, the funding is not there, and the city of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, they're the ones that own that locomotive. And from my understanding, I don't know how true it is. I'm just going off of what I was told. Is that Ed Dickens? Well, before Ed, you had Stephen Lee. Stephen did not want anything that was not UP running on UP rails. So when you backtrack to 96, when UP and SP, the whole takeover thing, if it was not UP, it was not allowed to ride on the rails at all. Now, from what I was told with Ed, is that UP did offer the city and the Arkansas Railroad Museum to fully restore the 819 under one condition and one condition only, that it had to be housed in Cheyenne with the rest of the steam fleet. I don't know how true that is, but from my understanding is that the city of Pine Bluff gave UP the middle finger and said, you're not going to take our prized possession and house it thousands of miles away. Even though UP supposedly agreed that they would run excursions every other year with it through Arkansas on the Cotton Belt. So I don't know. But I would love to see it run again, but I don't ever see it happening. All right. I'm going to grab a couple of other things. If I can get that to sit like that. And we'll put the water here. And I will clean that up later. All right. So we're fixing to do the camera positioning. I'm over here, by the way. So give me just a second. If you're trying to chat, I don't see it. I'm just kind of moving some stuff out of my way so that way I can reposition my phone. Okay, here we go. Time to make everybody seasick. That's a good up front of me right there. All right. Oh. Let me see if I can. Let's see if we can move this cable behind it. There we go. How about that? That should work, right? Yeah. Well, like I said, from what I was told, is UP offered and the city of Pine Bluff said no. So that's all I know. I just know what I was told. All right. Let me get these sweepsticks out of the way because this is where we're moving over. And I might have to go grab some cork as well. Probably should have done this before I went live, but I didn't know if I was going to make it over here or not. You never know these days, right? Okay, these sweepsticks I want to keep over here. I'll keep those there. We're just about there, y'all. Moving some rail out. Okay. wire. Set those in. And then, of course, once I get done with all of this, I'll get up here and I'll shop back it and make it look a lot more presentable. All right, so if anyone is wondering where I am headed with this, is we got, I'm gonna drop the tripod down so that way we can get a little lower so y'all can see what's happening. Okay. See if I can back up some. Here we go. All right, so it's this track right here. There is a diamond, and I've got this curved turnout that I built yesterday. I still got to cut ties off down to size, but that turnout is basically going to go right here, and it's going to feed this industry back there. So that's what we're going to work on next. So what I like to use, I've got a new pair of these rail cutters. So I've got one that says old, and I marked them on both sides so that way I can easily identify them. That's what I use to cut the wood, because it ain't sharp enough to cut metal anymore, but it's still good enough to cut the wood. So that's what I'm doing now, just cutting these ties down to size. And I've learned that when you're putting the ties on there, do it towards the outside radius. It makes it a little easier. Yo, Joe Raider, what is going on, buddy? Oh, I got a couple that's just a little too long. There we go. That looks a little better. Let's see if I can trim that. And y'all see how pretty this thing will look here in a minute. So I started this about 5:30 last night, Central Time. Stopped, had dinner. And let's see, more or less, picked back up on it after dinner and a quick walk. And then got back after it. Ooh, I am slacking off. The only downside about, when you don't have like the copper pre-measured ties that you solder to for like a pretty good distance, it's easy to get off on the links. I can work with that. One more. All right. There you go. If anyone's wondering, so this is a number 10. The outside radius or the upper radius is 28 inch. The lower radius is 24 inch. So I think that's going to fit very nicely for what I am wanting to do. A couple of track nails. Let me pull them out. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to move these cars out of the way. But I'm still going to need them fairly close by for when I get ready to do like measurements and whatnot. And then I got part of another train here. If John is still here, he would appreciate that I have that. And there is no buzzsaw. So I don't know if he's still here or not. Let me see. Did I miss anyone coming in? Just make sure. Okay. No, I didn't. So while you're waiting on me, hit that thumb up if you don't mind. That would be really, really great. I think all of that over there should be fine. Keep that. So this is one of the other track spacing guides I have. This side is for HO, and this side is for N scale. And so the way it works is this will like for parallel. So if I'm doing HO, I'd have it down this way, and then it would be using it like that right there. And that gets you like a perfect track spacing, and it works really great when you're working curves. And then of course, if you're in scale, you just flip it over and use it like that. So I think Micromark sells these. Very, very handy to have. But of course, the one that I used earlier was this one. This one's 3D printed. So, and you can use it for curves too. All right. Let me make a couple of adjustments. Do that. I got some cork here. How about that? Gotta have cork. Man, that's even got the thing already cut in it, kind of. So, can I use it this way too? Heck yeah, I can. So that there might be even better. Ooh, I got to be real careful, man. I got a tortoise very, very, very close, very close by. Or not tortoise, but the brace for when I use my tortoise. The brace is like right here, and it's going right there. So I got to be a little careful with that. I did notice that this one here sticks out just a hair. So trim that off. And let me get my file. I should be able to get under these. It just seems like any time that you cut a rail, it leaves a little bitty burr on the bottom. I do not like those burrs. Hey, James Dundas, what is going on? All right. That one on. And that one didn't want to go on at first, but it's on there now. Here we go. All right. I'm gonna slide that down about right there. And what I'll do is I'll trim this cork out later, but what I'm gonna do, just so that way it doesn't move on me, is I'll nail that piece in right here. And I'll do the same right here. So guys, this is why I never glue down my cork, is so that way if I need to make adjustments, all I gotta do is pop the nails out and I can make any adjustments as needed. Never, 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 never glue your cork. I know some people out there would chastise me for saying that, but you ain't changing my mind. Okay. So, just like before, I get out my handy dandy Sharpie and mark where the throw rod is. And we'll take this guy back off right there. And we're going to drill her out. Okay. And the shop back. That'll work. Why not? And then what I'm going to do before I start nailing it down is I'm going to get, I don't know if I'm going to be able to use a long piece of flat. All right, so grab this one. This one's door sticks out a little wider than some of the other cars. Ugh. Well, first, if I was going to track, might be a little helpful. I can go there. We're going to go there with it. So to hold her in place, I'm going to drill a hole at the midway point. Hey, Artie, what's going on, man? And Randall Ellison's here too. What's going on, Randall? Randall, you know that Frisco car is calling your name. Randall. Randall. Okay. All right. Let me get some track nails. All right, Mike. Says he's got to go get him an adult beverage. There we go. All right. And I forgot this is the rail that got glued. I got to break that glue out. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. I could probably take one of those ties out too to be okay. All right. Oh, it's just plastic ties that are falling down. Okay. I'm just going to curve that track out of the way, and I'm going to go ahead and drill a few more holes. Artie's getting ready to go to Sydney to buy decoders for myself and a customer and some track laying tools since I can't locate the ones at home. Almost done with track work. Okay. So what decoders are you getting, Artie? Traveling boxcar, yep, it's here. And I've got to get this area of the layout done so that way I can send it on to the next guy. Because the only thing I have to supply what he can use is at this building. So I'm hoping to not have it as long as Robert did. But you know, Rome was not built overnight. So for those wondering, I'm drilling holes in the copper ties that the rails are soldered to. There we go. All right. And then I got to find the thin nails, because it's like some of them are thicker than others, and the thick ones do not go in, and it breaks the ties. Okay, there's a thin one. And I have to get the nail sink. All right, that one's in. And I apologize if this is loud, guys. But y'all know it's a part of model railroading. Okay. And one more for the time being. There we go. All right, now I can move y'all a little closer. So this is the turnout I just put in right here. All right, and what I'm going to do, let's see, there's my X-Acto, and I'm going to cut this off pretty straight. Like that. There we go. Just slide that piece out of the way. Okay, that'll work. So now, what I need, that ain't wide enough. Shucks. Okay, I got another one down here. That is going to be more than wide enough. So this is what we'll use. And I don't want to put a nail in that corner, so I'm just going to put a nail over here just to kind of hold it in place. And eventually what I'll do in this area is put masonite down and set this all on top of masonite. There. Yeah, so we're going to cut that off. There we go. All right. Man, if I could just get this ladder just a little closer. Never close enough. Okay. That looks good. Okay. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just trying to figure out some measurements. I'm gonna bring y'all just a little closer. So I've got a dock here that should hold 2 cars. So I'm over here just kind of playing with measurements to figure where I want the end of my track at. There we go. And I'll show you kind of what it looks like. Hopefully this is a view where y'all can understand. There you go. And then, so I'm trying to figure out like how far I want the end of this track to go, because if it keeps going, it's going to run into that other dock. And we definitely do not want that. So main line will most likely get readjusted a little bit. Maybe. So I could probably start the curvature of it a little sooner. So double main, it's just there, but it's not like in stone per se. And then I've got this switch house here, or interlocking tire, that I'll have to find a base for it, but it'll go right here. Or I might turn it. I don't know how I'm going to do that one yet, but it's going to go right in this spot. So I already got some new passenger trains, it sounds like. Let me go back and chat. Hobo Henry, what's going on? Frustrating? Not terribly. It's just you have to make sure that everything is right the first time, and you just keep tweaking and keep tweaking and keep tweaking until it is right, instead of just being like, okay, that'll work. Now, Artie, you know I sell blue Namis, right? I understand. You'd be able to get it a lot easier over in Australia. So, speaking of blue Nami, I did get one of the brand new 1100s. Hold on a second, I'll show it to you. There you go. That's an 1100 for N scale, y'all. N scale. So now N scale has no reason why they cannot do blue Nami. All right. I think I'm happy with this. So I think I'm going to take out those 2 ties right there. Those are the 2 that I want out. So all I'm doing is clipping ties. Like that. Ow. Okay. And now that I got the ties clipped out, now I can see where I need to cut my rail. So I'm going to put the cars back on. Sure that the flex rail is where I want it. Okay. All right, y'all, moment of truth. Okay. After I do that, I'm going to have to make another adjustment. Okay. All right, set that out of the way. All right, guys, I will be right back. Just give me just a second, please. All right. Yo, if the stream kicks, I will come right back. So right now I have my phone connected with a USB-C to an Ethernet adapter. But if I leave that in, my phone is about to die. So bear with me just a second. Like I said, if I lose connection, I will come right back. Okay, can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? All right, Artie, take care, buddy. All is good. All right, great. Thank you, John. I knew I could count on you. But yes, I do hate it when my phone dies. So I apologize if the network feed gets choppy. Oh, that moves so smooth. Okay. There's my bastard file. All right, so if anyone ever wonders how I file these, I take my file at the top, kind of at a 40 angle, and I do a drag like that a couple of times. Then I go down, rest, and then when I do the bottom, I go side to side on the bottom of the rail. And it gets rid of the burrs. I'm not sure if anyone found that helpful or not. But if you did, you're welcome. And if you didn't, hey, that's okay too. Hey, Mason Dixon, what's up, fucking Mark? Okay, I'm back. I don't know what the hell happened there. No earthly idea. You heard Mo, and then, yep. I don't know what happened. Like, StreamYard just went and said, You're no longer connected. But like I said, it's because I disconnected the USB C, the Ethernet adapter here. I'll show you what this is. It's really, really nice. If I could get the network cord out. Boy, that's a tight fit. That's what she said. So all it is USB-C to RJ45. And so this works great. Much better picture too now. Oh, that's insane because now I'm on Wi-Fi. So I don't know, that makes no sense. Okay. That makes no sense at all. But I have a better picture than I did a minute ago. I just joined. Well, I think you joined right after I cut the network connection, and I didn't have Wi-Fi on, and now I do. So you probably saw it while it was on data, and so I killed the data connection. All right. Ah, shucks. There we go. All right. Man, really? This could be, man, this could be angled back some. All right. I'm gonna pull these or these nails out. I'm gonna see if I can adjust it a little bit and get maybe a little bit better angled profile on it. Actually, that might have did it when I took that one nail out. Man, that is, I'm gonna say that's it right there. I think I'm gonna put a nail in this one just to hold that in place. Because like when I pulled this nail out, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this. That son of a bitch bent. So man, I love curved turnouts, y'all. Dude, they work out so great. This piece in. So James, if you're still in here, yep, I see you're still in here. This is one step closer to me being able to run that traveling boxcar. One step closer. Well, technically, James, it is on the layout. If we're being technical, oh, son bitch. I put that nail in and it found the crack between the two pieces of plywood. Man, what the hell? So I guess what I'm going to have to do is we're going to put a nail way over here and maybe the crack of the two plywoods. That's some bull. There we go. All right. Yeah, we'll put in a bumper. And the first track is done for Brinkley Tool and Die. So now, oof, that could be a problem. So I might have to, I could see that being a problem. Coming right off of a little bit higher cork to a little bit lower cork. I mean, I could shim it up. But that's not what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is try to nail this diamond down a little bit. Shoot. Get out of there. Okay. There we go. That did the trick. Okay. Grab the other box car. And we'll go ahead and get these two on their respective track. Okay. All right. Bring y'all just a tad bit closer. How about that? And this is the next section we got to do, which is this right here. So I thought I had some other cork here a second ago. I don't keep hitting it. Heck yeah, I do. Wait a second, is that? Oh, so close. So close. So I'm gonna try to If I can cut this at a better angle. I'm just going to keep playing with it till I get it where I want it. That is spot. Man, that is spot on. All right. So the next thing I got to do is pull that nail out. And we're going to trim this guy up. Just like so. And then I can lay this guy in right up close to the building. And there we go, man. And that'll give me the cork for that section right there. Okay. Okay, let's see here. All right, James, have a good one, buddy. We'll see you next time. Thanks for popping in. All right. So it's always a little tricky when you're working, in a selected space like this. Yeah, get on the track. Thank you. And that's got an inner lean only because that cork is coming up over. So to combat that, I'm just going to go ahead and start trimming just a little bit. Still not enough. Well, and I don't want to go any closer. Yo, Bernard, what is going on? Bernard, I think this morning while you was in Steve's chat, I think you got way behind in the chat. Because I don't think you realized that we left until we left. Okay. There we go. All right. This is going to be a little tricky. It's tricky. All right. Let's see, where's that other spacer? I wonder if I could use that for the end scale side. See if that would work. All right, oh, this is a test. And only a test. Man, they're just like leaning and rubbing on each other. So that definitely is not going to work. All right, Jason, no, I was on early. Some people chatting them, but you never know. Showed up once my chat. That was crazy though. Yeah. Am I buying Rogue, Cork, MetLife, Home Depot? No, these were actually off of cork rolls that I bought from Hobby Lobby years ago. And so that's what I like to use for like my yard areas. Um, it's just so much easier than trying to use like the Midwest cork that I use, for the main line here. Um, it sits a little lower as well. So you get that little bit of elevation. So the main line does sit up higher. So, okay. I'll move those out of the way. Yeah. This might be one of those that I put the track in and put in, take out, put in, take out, put in, and take out until I get it exactly where I want it because it is moving. So, yo, Mystic Railroad, Mystic John, what's going on, buddy? All right. So, I think that's what I'm going to have to do. So, I guess the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start drilling these little holes from underneath. Because it's something I got to have done anyways. And guys, if y'all ask me something and I don't see it, just try to ask again. I'm not intentionally ignoring anybody. All right. Let's put you back on the track. I think because I got to curve it, I think I need to do this. We're going to put it in this way. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. Right in front of me, stupid. Go ahead and nail that guy in. And I'll nail the back nail in. Yeah, exactly, right there. Bam. Yeah, it's not like I'm doing something. Okay. Let's see if I can give you a little bit of a better view. So as you can see, this part of the building, it's a different company, sticks out just a little bit further than this part. So exactly, Rusty, what not to do. Okay. See, Rusty knows. I think if I come out this far here, now, let me put these two on. Man, that is close. Man, oh man, is that close. But it misses. Doesn't miss there, though. But I think I'll be okay if I put a nail in right here. Because it misses. And really, I could take this track and slide it over that way a hair if I needed to. See if I can slide the building a little closer. And that just barely misses. Barely. All right, so that hits. And this car actually has some lean to it. So, okay. I kind of like that right there. So, now the next part is figuring out which ties I'm going to pull out. And it's going to be these two right here. Yeah. Which two? Okay, the two that my fingers are on. So I'm just cutting the ties. So that way I'll be able to cut my rail. All right, John, have a good night, man. Thanks for popping in. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pop a nail in there and call that one good. Okay. I think that is going to work. Let me get that nail in. And what I might have to do is drill a hole between this nail and this nail to put a little bit curve on it. I might have to do that. And then I can go ahead and nail this one here in. Okay. And then what I need to do is match the curvature of the turnout. And I got some ties that I can see that I am going to have to clip. So I got 5 ties that I am going to have to trim down. It is just part of it, so I'll have to take this nail back out so that way I can lift this up. And we're just going to trim these down to the tie plate. And I only got to do 5 is what I counted. Okay. Now let me get these out. Yeah. I might have to do a 6th one. Yep, I might have to do another one. But I don't have to go all the way back. It just barely needed it. Okay. Now, let's see if I can find the hole that I nailed it in. I'm not seeing it. So I think I'm just going to go right here with it. I think I can make that work. And come over here. Yeah, I'm putting on a lot of coats of paint, Bernard. You know it. I got that one just a hair too long. At least the flex rail I can adjust. This one. Nope. Here we go. All right. Now the trick is going to be getting some rail joiners on it. So I'll probably have to pull that one nail back out. That'd be all right. Grab my old ones. I don't want to damage my new ones. Oh, come on. There you go. You finally did what you were supposed to do. Okay. Ta-da! Okay. So now I just need to tidy her up. Stumpy nuns. Oh yeah. Definitely limited clearance. Definitely. I mean, y'all, that is close. Jaybird 11/12/07. Didn't realize you were live, so on that note, hello and have a good night. Happy modeling. All right, buddy. You have a good one too. If you're not sticking around. Okay. So now all I need to do is get this curved turnout nailed back in. I don't know why it did what it did earlier, but it did. That one fits. Okay. All right. Let me back up a little. And y'all still can't see it very well. Hey, Mill Creek Rails. Evening all. Just realized you're live. Also, just finished a 50-foot air slide cotton belt Walters kit a few minutes ago. That is pretty cool. And air slide would be too modern for what I'm doing. Just by a little bit. All right, y'all. Let's see here. I believe that works. Let's see how it works with this one. Well, guys, I think that is a win. Wouldn't you agree? Except for the glue on the top of this rail. Guys, I will tell y'all something. Plyo Bond is some really, really good stuff. So good that it will glue your rails together if you're not careful. All right. I see a little piece of cut tie there. And then So now all I got to do is we're going to take some spare wooden ties, and I'm going to shove one in here to finish that one off. Might as well go ahead and do the same thing back here. All right, where's my damn pliers? They're way over there. I have to go up under like that. And that's just clean, helps clean up the look a little. Yep. So even with it plugged in, it died. So what can I say? Can y'all hear me well? Wow, I've been going live for 2 hours now. And see, if James would have stuck around, yeah, camera needs a Scooby snack. Needs a Scooby snack. Okay. So I am going to show y'all this. Let me find a good pointing device. Right there. So this is the section of track that comes out behind the building where I just got finished laying that track. And I mean, what good timing, right? But that is the traveling boxcar. It is on the layout, ready to go. I just still have a little bit of work to do over there. So that way y'all understand where I'm at is I've got to wire it all up first and foremost. None of it's wired in. There's 14 buttons, but there's three crossovers. So that would be an extra 3 turnouts. So there's 7. I believe there's 17 turnouts total. I believe. I don't know if the other camera. You can't really see with the other camera. Oh, turning the wrong camera first and foremost. There we go. So there's the building I was working on. And we'll zoom in. There you go. So where the rail cutters that have the word old on it, and you see that bastard file, there is a track. It's laying on a track. And that's the track that's behind me. That's where it's going to come out. So that is the area that I just finished. And you can see that's where I have my phone positioned. So that is the Southern, I think it's Southern Packaging. It's a grain. So they'll take bulk grain and bag it. And then, of course, you'll have the yard. So you can already see there's cars in the yard. And then, of course, there's Wilson Foods. And so the yard kind of sticks behind it. For those wanting to see a double slip, I can show you one real quick. Right at the bottom of your screen. Or kind of in the central. And I can't zoom in anymore, but I can try to focus. I have to focus out. There you go. So there's your double slip. Yes, I have built every single one of these turnouts. And then, of course, Lynn's favorite area. We'll have to show Lynn's favorite area. And that's right here. That's Homer's Donuts. But Lynn, look, we even got a little sign for you. So you don't even have to hear it. You can see it says, "Welcome to Wiener." So yes, since I am hand laying all of my turnouts, that does take a lot of time. Takes up a lot of time. And then, of course, as far as the scenery goes, there you have it. That's pretty much where I'm at on that. Why did that do that? Hold on. There we go. That's much better. Much better. So, how is everyone's Friday night going? I see, so I'm going to see if I can say hi to everyone. I see Bernard's here. JD, Ray Bertelson, Alan with Mason-Dixon Railroad. Just want to make sure I give everyone a proper shout out. Randall is here. Ray Bertelson. Derek Alexander still here, as far as I know. Mill Creek Rails. And of course, it's saying Jay Bird. So I'm assuming that might be Rail Fan Jason. It's not like telling me like your actual names. It's giving me the @ and then whatever your address is. I don't know why it's doing that. Rusty, Mystic John, going back in the chat. Brad's here from, I believe he's over in New Zealand. Okay, that's far enough back. And Joe got a package today and no idea who it's from. It's probably a glitter bomb, Joe. You might have got you a glitter bomb. Wouldn't that be some shit if you thought it was model trains? You get it down there and glitter just blew up and went everywhere. Man, that would piss me off. So if anybody's thinking about sending me a glitter bomb package, think again. But I could tell you someone who to send a glitter bomb package to. But you would have to message me privately for that answer. So, because I will not say it on here. Nope. It's a nice item, very well packed, but you don't know who it's from. So, yeah, tiny little pieces of metal glitter could cost. Oh, absolutely, Derek. Yeah, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. But anyways, well, I mean, the only other thing I could do is show y'all what I got at the train show for those who did not follow Steve Childers' live stream. One of the items I'll go back to the other camera because. So one of the items I got at the train show was on it. And zoom up. There we go. And I forgot to grab my daggum water. But that little gray vat that is beside the building. Lynn McCurdy, now if Heath ends up getting a glitter bomb, now we know who to blame. And that would be you, Lynn. But no, that would be pretty funny. All right, John, I hope you have a great birthday, my friend. Have a great weekend as well, and we will see you next time. Thanks for hopping in here. So Joe's package came from Hamburg, PA, and was here in October. I don't know who lives in Hamburg, PA, so I don't. Joe, I mean, you got me beat. But anyways, the gray vat behind the Arkansas or the Louisiana and Arkansas car, that is one of the items that I got from the train show. Only spent $5 on it. So I think that, in my opinion, was a hell of a deal. The next item I got was a free bag to Spring Creek model trains, courtesy of Steve Childers, because he ended up getting like 3 of these. So I got me a free bag. Oh. And no, this is not sponsored by Spring Creek. All right. So one of them I'm wearing. So I got me a new shirt. Kind of showed this off earlier, but if you watched earlier, now you get a much better view. So we got the Daylight, the Black Widow, and the Bloody Nose. And those are all in my era. I just noticed one of them is missing. No, it ain't. It's right here. But to go with the shirt, I got me a really nice mug. A nice mug to go with the ugly mug, right? And on the back side, it's got cotton belt. And it says the route of Blue Streak service. St. Louis Southwestern Railway Lines. 75th year anniversary. So it's kind of hard to see, but it's got a little diamond behind the... It's like real blurry because this is ceramic. 1877 to 1952. So that's right before my era. And then this is the map of what the Cotton Belt route looked like. So now I got me a nice little coffee mug if I ever go live in the mornings. And Randall, you got to come to the train show next year, dude, because they had some Frisco stuff too. And that vendor is also at the Central Arkansas train show as well. So, so this was one of the first pieces that I went after. And I didn't even take the price tag off of it, but KD number 158, these are the scale heads, but this is a 50 pair, so this will do 50 cars. So 50 cars for about 115. I mean, maybe 120 by the time you do tax. So, and that was the last one that this guy had. Now, Katie was there as one of the vendors, but the thing is they didn't really offer much discounts. They did offer discounts, but you could still get it cheaper from another hobby shop. So, got that. Then, y'all, I got this for a steal. Before I show you this one, I will be right back. I am going to grab what it's for, so just sit there. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Good to be back. All right, so I went to grab this thing. So if anyone wants to try to, oh shit, you can't even read that. So fuck that. So for anyone wondering, I've had this, and it's undecorated. It's still DC, so I'll still have to add a decoder to it. I don't know if it's got a smoke unit or not, but I have a doodlebug, right? Well, to go with the doodlebug, oh, that is wild. That is interesting. I just noticed this. Look here. When the wheels turn, the coupler box turns. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But anyways. So I do have a doodlebug. Cotton Belt had one. They actually had several, but some of them weren't flat. I think they only had one that was flat on the front. But to go with it, how about a coach? A nice coach. The only thing that is missing on the coach is there's no couplers. So I can easily fix that, right? And this is a Bachmann Spectrum. So, yeah, that piece just popped off. There we go. So, yeah. Not bad, I don't think. The coach is just a little higher. Not by much. Well, it's the roof that's higher. So if I could find a round roof for it, I might put a round roof on it. But I didn't think that was a bad deal for $10. So, and it's all good because guess what? I've got the couplers, right? I showed you the couplers a minute ago. I'm just trying to put the doodlebug back in its box. So I don't lose it. But I told y'all earlier I keep pill bottles around for a reason. Well, this one's got the KD coupler pockets. So adding couplers to it, yeah, no problem. All right. Let's see here. Okay, next thing I got. I'll go with the big one. So I told y'all I have a team track over there. And for the team track, you need a Walters team track scene. So, team track scene. So I don't know what all part of that I'll use, what I won't use. We'll figure it out. I might have to kit bash some of it. Then I got me some railroad pins. So if I ever get me one of those red railroad vests, I got a cotton belt pin. And that's like reflective. Of course, if you got cotton belt, you got to have the Southern Pacific lines. And then, of course, the other railroads that are running on my layout. Rock Island. Bernard, I know, man. I wish I could get 100-pack. But, and then maybe they sell it for like 200 even. That would be really nice. And then last but not least, it's kind of hard to tell, but Missouri Pacific in the buzzsaw. So got those. I think I gave $1 a piece on each of those. Not a bad deal. And then I got one more thing from the train show. And this one I'm pulling out of the box. Because it is freaking cool. I have never seen this kit before. I wish I could have got the guy to come off his price on it, but he wouldn't because of how rare this item is. And it'll be the only piece of rolling stock that's Rutland on my railroad as far as I know, but here you go. How freaking cool is that? And the other wing is on the other side. And you can even take the wings out. You know, the plane can come off. Like I did this earlier. You know, you could run it empty if you wanted to. And let's see here. Make sure I do this right. You can even just put the plane together if you wanted to. So I thought that was pretty cool. No, the plane doesn't even have a motor in it. But check out the tail. That is so cool. But Lynn, I'm sure you'll send me a DCC decoder to put it in the plane and a motor. So that way I can spin the prop and keep her going. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. But I think the simplest things are pretty cool too. So that's just me and my nature. But yeah, that's how it transports. So the bombers on the carrier has props turning. Interesting. But that's a carrier. Not a 40-foot flat. So, but yeah, I gave $40 for this one. I tried to talk him down, but he would not budge. He wouldn't even take 35. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll take it. Let's see, I think this goes in. Yep, that goes in like so. So I noticed that the plastic piece, you know, when you pack it up, that's supposed to hold the plane, wasn't in there. So I'm going to make sure I get that taken care of. Before I put it back in its case. Really, dude? Get back in here. There we go. And then I'll eventually add that to Jamara. Not right now, but eventually I will. And that is the last purchase that I bought from the train show. Yeah, Buddy Holly plane. There you go. Absolutely. So, all right. I'm going to put these back in here. So that way I don't lose it. And then I got my doodle bug. That'd be cool to see running around the layout would be the doodle bug. So the cotton belt Alcos. Yes. And if you noticed, these two are 6-axle. Papa John's, welcome. Yes, that was an Athearn. That was an Athearn kit. But these Alcos, these are actually Atlas Yellow Box. They have not made these in a long time with the cotton belt. I think these are custom decaled. Custom painted, custom decaled. It looks to be that way. But these are Alco RSD 5s. So they're 6-axle. But the center axle isn't even centered. If you notice, it's closer here than it is here. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But eventually, all of the cotton belt stuff that you see up here that's not bloody nose will eventually run. Someone was talking about John Deere earlier. Who was it that was talking about John Deere? I don't remember if that was on Steve's live stream or someone else's, but they were talking about John Deere. I don't remember who, but I do have a John Deere crane here. So I don't remember who that was. And then one of the estates that I bought and paid for up front had a DeWitt Clinton in it. I thought that was pretty cool. That I got my hands on a DeWitt Clinton. So it was earlier. So Ray, yeah. There you go. Crane and tender, John Deere. And that one was actually given to me. But I've got one of the coolest trains of all trains that nobody else has. And some of y'all might not think it's much, but to me, it holds a special place in my heart. So let me see if I can. See if I'm going to zoom in on it. No, it's not that one. It is that one right there, right under the Rock Island and right above the Southern Pacific ones. That is a Nathan DeLay special made out of soda cans. And it'll actually pull. You can't back it up, but it will pull around the layout and it will stay on there. But I thought that was pretty cool. He just gave it to me one day. Just said, hey, I'm going to send you something. So, yep, that is a Nathan DeLay train. Let's see. I've got there's my passenger fleet, or part of my passenger fleet up there. I did get something special from you, Lynn. That would be that guy. Right there, the Rock Island number 455. And that is actually maroon and silver. It looks black, but it's in maroon. And then to go with it, I got the red and black one. I found it later. If Steve Childers was here, we could definitely rub some salt in his wound, but he's not here. So, and then, of course, I've got the 320. That was Cotton Belt GP7. I've got both 1513 and 1514 Ashley Drew and Northern. I do have another 1513. Guys, these are hard to find. Ashley Drew and Northern, that's for sale. And the only reason why I have it for sale is because I originally had two 1513s and I was going to renumber one of them to 1514, and I ended up finding someone, a friend, I'm not going to mention names, but a friend had the 1514 for sale, and I ended up buying that from him. And then, of course, those are a couple of AD&N cabooses to go with it. There's the traveling boxcar right in the middle with the pink tag. Wasn't there another one from a few years back? I'm trying to remember. I don't know. There's one of my Mopac Alcos that will be on the layout. Got a few cotton belt cabooses. And then the BKTY, that came from Chris Mitchell. I don't know if a lot of y'all know about him, but he's a big part of the Amarillo model, or the Amarillo Railroad Museum, which they do have a club layout there that is massive. I think he told me the layout size was 36 by 72. 36 feet by 72 feet. It is double level. It's a spiral. So, and then, of course, Split Rock Mining Company, got that car from him. So these are my collector cars here. And then if you look at the ump, if Schuylkill was still here, you used to have it. Oh, Lynn, yeah, I haven't even got that far yet. I still have it up here, but I haven't got that far. But the ump car, Tim from They Make It Like That, graffitied that one, and that it says Freak, like all the way across. And then Weathering with AJ did the Great Northern one for me. And then, of course, you can't have a display shelf without a Joe Rader's Black Rock Central. So I've got that there. And then both of the scale trains, SP Bloody Noses, came from Jack Jack. One of them I won in a contest, and then the other one I bought like really cheap. But they're just there for display. And then, of course, I've got the Southern Pacific. So this is kind of more my SP stuff. Oh, thanks, JD. That's cool. And as long as the one you're doing, JD, fits my era, it will be running on the layout, not on it stuck on a display. But I got the Southern Pacific U.S. Olympic. That would be, I don't remember what year that one what Olympics that would have been for. I would think it would be in the 80s or 90s. And then, of course, I have all three. So let me zoom out. Y'all see my big head. Let me go this way. There we go. I've got all three, including the caboose, SP Bicentennial Fleet. The black one is an Arkansas Midland. It's kind of hard to read. I don't know if I can tilt it down and you can read it a little better, but that's custom painted. And if you want one of those in DC, I can easily hook you up. Of course, that's just a standard caboose, but the Gandy Dancer, that's pretty cool. The U50, there was a lot of y'all in the community that got that for me. And so that's why I will not get rid of that. And I've actually ran that locomotive on Flying Crow's layout because it meets his era. And then this is the only UP locomotive you'll find. It's the Boy Scout 2010 Heritage Unit. And then, let's see here. We're going to zoom down. I got an Alco rotary snowplow that's actually got Tsunami 2 in it. Eventually, I'll replace it with... okay, JD, that should work. 40-foot boxcar. So that should definitely work. I'll put Blue Nami in it. It'll run on the layout. And then, of course, the SP steamers will run on the layout. The Cotton Belt Mogul will run on the layout. And Joe Raider, if you're still here. But I do have a BL2 in Mopac as well. And then, let's see, going down. These are custom painted FTs that I painted myself. A couple of Cotton Belt Heritage cars. And then these three are lines that are Arkansas related, you know, where I live. So this one looks like a Rock Island, but it's actually got the reporting marks of Warren and Ouachita Valley. So that was a short line that Rock Island had as a subsidiary. And then Delta Valley and Southern is over in northeastern Arkansas, and then Portland Gin Company, which is in southeast Arkansas. And then the train below it is just a whole bunch of Union Pacific employee club cars. They're not doing these anymore, and that is the last one. So I got a few of those. And then to show, let's see, the next shelf under that is just some bicentennial fleets. And then this is a locomotive that Lynn gave me. It's a Cross Maffei, and he gave me this coach here as well. I'm going to find a way to use it. Not sure exactly how yet, Lynn, but whether there's a will, there's a way, right? And then I got 3 Sidetrack Sunday cars, and then that rounds out the fleet. So you can see the 3 Sidetrack Sundays right there, which I did these 2 myself, and then Rick Bailey did that one right there. So zoom out. There we go. So this is one of the first things that y'all see is that Portland Gin Custom. I don't think so. I believe it's a Bev Bell. Yeah, I believe this is a Bev Bell. But you can tell it's got the Athearn clips under it. It's either a ready to roll or I think it's a Bev Bell. And the Portland Gin Company, it's still there. And it is still rail served today. And will it spin blades? I think y'all are behind in the chat. Yo! John Arthur, happy Friday to you too, buddy. AccuRail? Nope, not an AccuRail. AccuRail, they don't have those little clips like the like Athearn does. This is an AccuRail. So there you go. That's an AccuRail. That I know for a fact. And this one's probably going to be up for sale because even though it's got a proper build date for my era, that right there is too modern for my era. So when I find the box for this one, I'll end up putting this one on the website and selling it. I'll go ahead and swap out the scale head couplers with the standard head. So it will come with Katie's, but not with these scale heads. And it does have, these are metal wheels too. So that'll be one that I will sell. Oh, and I don't know if y'all saw this one, but Southern Pacific had a fuel tender too. Only one. And they would run it between 2 locomotives like that. So that's why I have it set up with that one in the reverse position. So yeah. So train show tomorrow at the Cleveland Fairgrounds. So I bet you Crooked Dave's going to try to go to that one. So what happened to the black loco under the Joe Raider car? So this one, it's the paint job. It is very glossy. So it looks like something happened to it, but I promise you nothing's happened to it. It's just very glossy. I mean, you can see the sheen coming from it. I did not paint this. Someone custom painted it. So this is an Athearn blue box, by the way, with metal. I mean, these handrails, these are metal. So, well, John, you can always go back and, check the replay. So, I've got all of the track now done for Brinkley. It's done. Well, I might have to adjust the main line a little bit, but the track is done. So now what I'm going to have to do is cut frogs so I can isolate the frogs and get it all wired up. Once I get it wired up, get the rest of the tortoises installed so I have all the tortoises that I need. And then after I do that, then we'll be installing LCC equipment, and I don't have enough of that, so I'll have to order some of that. Yep, reflections. Yep, it's just shiny. It's just very, very shiny. But I do know the gentleman that's got a whole bunch of these for sale. If that's something you're interested in, Arkansas Midland is now owned by Genesee and Wyoming, but that is the Pensley paint scheme before they went to G&W. The guys that I'm selling the estate for, different gentlemen, actually worked for that company up there for Arkansas Midland. And then I've got some pictures here. Everybody likes pictures, right? So I showed y'all. Let's see here. Let me tilt up. I'll tilt up. Okay. So I showed y'all these two and that, right? So actual photos. Here's another one. So that's what the backs of them look like. Man, these are just like really glossy. There we go. Ain't that one interesting how the striping on the bottom where the coupler is like inverted, where most of them are like that. So the 1513s was inverted. And then here's a picture after they went to ALM. There we go. And there's the 1514 behind it. And then, of course, there's the caboose. And the passenger car was an old Rock Island car. So, yep, I got a few pictures that I leave here on my layout, or leave on the display shelf. So, oh, you found a kit, huh? That's pretty cool. What car number is it? Because I believe they made more than one. Who did I didn't send anybody a glitter bomb, John. I don't do that to people. I'm not Mark Rober. Okay? All right, Mills. So what number did you buy? I am curious to know if you got the exact same one I got. $78.16. Mine is $78.13. There you go. Oh, welcome back, John. What is going on with you? All right, guys. Well, I've been live for about almost 3 hours. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and hop off. So if you haven't thumbed it up, please go ahead and do so. Where the hell is Portland, Arkansas? It is southeast. It is off of the Union Pacific, which used to be Missouri Pacific, McGee Sub. So it's down there close to Eudora. It's like I think it's between Eudora and McGee somewhere. So you'll have to look on a map, Joe. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate it. So if you don't mind, hit that thumbs up on the way out. Show me your support. And next time, I will try to have my phone a little bit more charged so we can continue to do more work on the layout. What am I doing for the second half of the show? I'm going to be stuffing my face. So thank you, JD. I appreciate it. Making great progress. Slow but surely. And for those that are looking for model trains, feel free to check out my website, trainfreakhobbies.com. I'll put it in the chat. There you go. And I'm slowly but surely adding rolling stock, building kits, locomotives, passenger cars, books, you name it. So this is all stuff that I got from Estate. So feel free to check that out. And maybe there's something there you'd be interested in. So who knows? All right, y'all. Y'all be safe out there. Have a great weekend. Happy railroading.